Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Boink Studios, and check us out on boinkstudios.com, where you can see all of our projects, past, present, and future. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy Show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this is Tom Clark's Main Event. We're back once again here on Facebook Live. Glad you are with us. We're also recording today. The show will post on YouTube and is always available on boinkstudios.com. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. This is episode number 137, and yes, we're moving right along here on Facebook Live. We want to thank everyone for joining us here, of course, and for coming back each and every week. Much thanks to Heidi Ryan and the whole crew at Wrestling Rumors for giving us this platform. We do greatly appreciate it. So, episode number 136 was WWE returns to Saudi Arabia, Lio Rush, and more. We talked about WWE going back to Jeddah, as well as the moral story behind it all. Plus, we talked about Leo's recent issues with WWE, including where he is right now in terms of his mindset. But now it's time to get back to doing what we do. We're going to cover a plethora of pro wrestling topics here today on the show. That's right, a plethora. It means a bunch of stuff. I mean, you know what it means, right? So, there you go. Here we go. This time, the main event is AEW's TV deal, War of the Worlds, and WWE headlines. Doesn't that sound exciting? Are you jacked? Are you pumped? Are you psyched? Are you ready? I know I am. What's up, folks? Hello, Michael. Welcome back to the show. John, how are you? Lance, Phyllis? If you are listening to the show today, and you never catch the show live on the Facebook, on the Wrestling Rumors Facebook, every Friday at the 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the East Coast, thank you very much, then you're missing out. You're missing out totally, man. So join us every Friday live. This is where the cool kids hang out, man. Every week we get to talk about wrestling. I wear cool t-shirts. They're always black. And I wear these nifty headphones. And, man, you cannot beat it. Can't beat it. So there you go. I just had a phone call and I went click, click, because I don't want to talk to that person. Whoever that person is, they can wait till later. Okay? There you go. So yeah, so we're live today. We're doing our thing. And again, if you have not watched the show here on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and do so. Hello, Alma. How are you? Let's see. Yep, I'm watching ROH from last night. I'm on the main event, and PCO is bleeding like a stuck pig, folks. So yeah, a world championship match with Matt Taven. A lot of people got some hate for Matt Taven. I'm fine with the guy, to be honest with you. Omega did not show up. Dominion hasn't happened yet, Lance. Oh, does he show up? I mean, I would think that Kenny's busy with AEW, because Dominion's June 9th. AEW's kicked in at that point. You might very well be right, but I don't know. Hello, Claire. Welcome back to the show. Okay, Jenna, you're talking about AEW. All the pop collection is very fine. Who asked me that? Michael, you're the man. Thank you very much. I'm up to 104. I'm broke, but it's all worth it. I don't know that it's worth it, but they're fun to look at. I've put up another shelf. See the great big gaping crater there? That means there's room to grow. It's diabolical laugh there. That's what I do, because I waste money on pop culture stuff I don't need. That's kind of how I roll. I don't know what life would be like without it, to be honest with you. I guess I'd have more money, I suppose. Hello, Danny in Utah. Let's see. So, yes, someone mentioned Finn. I'm representing Finn today. Let's get into the AEW TV deal here, folks. Let us touch on the actual headline, and here we go. The news broke yesterday on The Wrap. Reported that the current plan is for AEW and Warner Media, Time Warner, thank you very much, to announce a partnership 1 hour before WrestleMania's television upfronts on May 15th. Which will be held at Madison Square Garden. According to the report, AEW will be airing a weekly television show on TNT starting this fall. President Tony Khan and other wrestlers will reportedly be at the event as well, pitching to media buyers. It was reported as early as January that AEW were in negotiations for a TV deal. In the meantime, AEW is set to hold a few events with their talent during the summer, including the Fight for the Fallen, which we know about, and Kenny Omega's Fighter Fest, easy for me to say, on June 29th. And of course, we're all leading to Double or Nothing on May 25th. So, yeah, big news. We've been talking about AEW coming to Turner, to TNT, and it looks like it's going to become a reality. This, in my opinion, well, maybe it's not just my opinion, but facts is facts, yo. This really does get the ball rolling in a lot of ways for a lot of fans out there who have been, and by the way, I've been getting questioned like crazy since the news of AEW came. When are they coming on TV, Tom? When can I watch them? So there you go, folks. Montrese, I saw your post. I think I put a like on there. I'm glad to hear he's okay. That's awesome. Great to hear. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. So, yeah, AEW is, let's see, Jim says best part of AEW news, they're going to announce the TV deal from MSG. Talk about shots fired. Jim, I'm going to be honest with you. And Jim, I don't disagree with you at all. But I would suggest, I submit, that the shots were fired when ROH and New Japan locked up Madison Square Garden to begin with. CMLL, is it AAA? Is it Triple H going to run the Garden later this year, next year? Maybe it's later this year. I think it's either AAA or CMLL. Someone looked that up for me. I can't remember which company. You're right. Not going to disagree with you again, but I would say that Vince McMahon is well aware. And if he's not, he's living in a fantasy world. Of course, he is living in WWE's fantasy world, and where, they're kind of bulletproof, or they think they are. But, it's gutsy of AEW to do this, but why wouldn't you be gutsy? Why wouldn't you go through for the throat? It doesn't mean they're going to go after WWE. I don't see that happening. We've all discussed that plenty of times here on the show. I don't think that's going to happen, folks. They just, they got a lot of money, but WWE's got a lot of money too, and they're firmly entrenched and established, and AEW is not. So, but yeah, you're right. It does make a huge, big, bold statement. Let's see, Johnny, I don't really like to talk about that guy, to be fair. I don't care for it. No, he doesn't belong in the WWE Hall of Fame. WWE Hall of Fame is a silly, fictional Hall of Fame for silly pro wrestling. And a double murderer who choked the life out of his son, has no place being acclaimed or regarded for anybody at this point. And praised for anything he did in a silly pro wrestling ring in scripted pro wrestling. It's my thoughts. You asked me, that's what I think. Moving on. See, Bit says, will AEW be running their show around the same time as Raw or SmackDown Live? So, Bit, the rumor right now is Wednesday nights. And I found it very interesting that, yes, Wednesday is the day that the announcement's coming next week. So maybe that is also a statement as well, is that Wednesday night is going to be... they chose Wednesday for the statement, more or less saying, well, this is the day we're going to start. We're going to air every Wednesday night live. That's just me. It would, Johnny, no problem. But yeah, it would make the most sense. James says CM Punk come to WWE, need to have a match with Sami Zayn. No, CM Punk doesn't need to have a match with anybody, James. CM Punk needs to be happy. And if CM Punk is happiest outside of pro wrestling, he needs to stay out of pro wrestling. And I'm a huge fan of CM Punk, but if he doesn't want to be there, he shouldn't be there. And no, he doesn't need to do anything. I disagree with that assessment. I appreciate your comment, but I just don't see it at this point. Could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I just don't see it. Wednesday Night Delight. So if they stick with the gambling theme, I wonder what it would be called. You know what I mean? AEW. I don't know what they would call it. Interesting. I guess we'll all find out together next week, right? So hopefully the announcement will be very exciting. Yes. But Chris in Baltimore, what's up, bro? Yes. Thanks for joining us, man. Shout out to you. All right, Barry's talking about Lars Sullivan. We can jump around here as we always do. This is going to fit into WWE headlines later at the end of the show, but Lars supposedly has said a whole bunch of wacky stuff on social media years ago. It wasn't even lately, I don't think. I don't even know how long ago. Years ago is what I was told. But he supposedly has said a whole bunch of racist stuff, inappropriate things on social media. Let me tell you folks something. If you're like a bigot, if you are racist and you suck, guess what? You have no business. First of all, you have no business walking around. Second, you really have no business giving those opinions on social media. Because guess what's going to happen to you? Eventually, someone is going to read it, and you are going to be in all kinds of trouble. And if you decide later on you want to have a life outside of your bigotry and hatred and nonsense that's filling your stupid brain, if you have one, then you might have a hard time getting that life. And I think that Lars' past comments are coming back to haunt him. Supposedly they knew about this. WWE knew about this long before they ever signed the guy. They were already aware of it. I don't know if that's true or not, but no, I don't think he's getting fired. Because that would be holding a guy's past against him. If he claims he's reformed, look, they're not holding Hogan's comments against him. They didn't hold Chyna's porn career against her, did they? I mean, come on. This is, it's a guy that, and especially if Lars is telling them backstage, I was a different person then, I've learned my lesson, blah, 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 whatever it is. And I'm not disputing that. Maybe he did. Maybe he was a different person. Maybe he's found Jesus. I don't know. Not making light of it. I'm just saying. And if that's the case, then he should be allowed to ply his craft and earn a living. And if, they don't have to have him. If they don't want him there, they'll show him the door. But I don't know how I feel about it. And I apologize for not having read the comments. I've heard the comments are not pleasant. Okay. So, it's freedom of speech is a thing, Joe. You're right. But when you're an idiot, at the same time, you need to go check yourself. And if you're a racist and a bigot and a homophobe, then you have no business talking to anybody. Okay, that's just me. Daniel Bryan being buried, Joe. Daniel Bryan's not being buried. Daniel Bryan is a new tag team champion, cutting a great promo on SmackDown. He's not being buried at all. Come on, Joe. You can do better than that, man. Come on. Who's burying Daniel Bryan? I got to tell you something. We've talked about this in the program multiple times before. I've vented, I've ranted, I've raved, I've soapboxed, I've done a whole bunch of wacky stuff here on the show. But I'll repeat it again because it bears repeating. If you are on TV and they're selling your merch and you're on the posters and the t-shirts and I don't care if you're just working dark matches, whatever. If you're there, you're not getting buried. Now, you may not like the way you're being treated in terms of I lose all the time. What does that really matter to these guys and gals? I don't know. I guess it depends on who you are, but then you're not being buried. You know what buried is? Buried is being kept at home, never being used, never on TV. Now, you can look at what they're doing to the Revival and say they're burying them. I don't think they're burying them as much as they're just trying to humiliate them. They're still getting paid. They're still on the road. They still got the contracts. They didn't kick them to the curb. They didn't fire them. They didn't, yes, they're trying to make fools of them, and man, they're doing a great job. But buried? No, they're not getting it. I'm sorry. Maybe I don't see it the way you do, but that's just, I just don't see it that way. That's just me talking. Someone just mentioned Warriors Hall of Fame's thing. Yeah. He's had issues before too. He said all kinds of wacky stuff when he was at WWE, man. So, I'm not justifying it. I'm not taking it for Lars in any way. I encountered a little bit of bigotry. About that much, this past week. And I told the person to his face, I said, dude, that's not cool. I mean, what kind of backwards attitude is that? He didn't much like what I had to say. I didn't really care. It's 2019. Get over yourself. Okay? For real. It's just ridiculous. Danny, the news about Sasha is back and forth and up and down and back and forth and up and down. It is, who is that? Who is that talking about he's got look, dude, look. Joe, is that you? Being teamed with Rowan, went from the champ to tag champ. Should have a rematch with Kofi. Not Kevin. Joe! Daniel is highly regarded in that company. Okay? He is. When he dropped the title to Kofi, Daniel was dealing with some kind of injury. We all suppose it was a concussion, but we don't know for sure. I don't think. They can't just bring him. I mean, they could. I guess they do whatever they want to do. But to bring him back and immediately come on, dude. He's not being buried. Daniel's highly valued by that company. If you need proof of that, he's there right now. Okay? He kept pushing to come back. And he made it back. Do you think they would have let somebody come back they wanted to bury? Joe, you're killing me with this. Come on, man. Come on. Use your head, dude. He's not getting buried at all. Buried is no title, not winning a match, and probably never on TV. That's buried. Daniel Bryan's not buried. Come on, man. Let's see. James says, what do you reckon? Money in the Bank? Leaving WWE already? He's caught. What, Lars leaving WWE? No. I've not heard anything about Lars supposedly leaving. It could happen. You never know with that company. See, Bray doesn't want to do Saudi, does he? So they can't put him in the title picture. Brian. I don't know. I would guess and say his opinion on Saudi Arabia has not changed. I don't know. But you might very well be right. So, let's see. Audrey, 68-year-old great grandma, longtime wrestling fan. Audrey, you're awesome. It was fans like you in the crowd when I was in the business that tried to smack me in the back of the head because I was such a good heel. So I missed that. No news with Big E. He's on the mend. He commented on the Lars Sullivan situation online on Twitter, I think it was. I don't have anything else than that, to be honest with you. I don't think Roman Reigns' novelty is going to wears out, Johnny. I just don't see it. I think that they just love him too much. That's just me. So we've skipped right past War of the Worlds. Are you guys checking out Ring of Honor New Japan's tour right now, War of the Worlds tour? It's top notch. If you've not checked it out, do yourself a favor and watch it. We're up. Night 3 is tomorrow night on the 11th. It's been some good stuff so far. Let's give you a really quick rundown because I covered both nights for ProWrestling.com. By the way, quick plug time. Are you ready? If you've not checked out my stuff, please give us a follow or check us out on ProWrestling.com, WrestlingRumors.net, and the Chairshot.com, as well as the Floor Seat. So there you go. And I'm attempting to get the browser to cooperate. Excuse me, folks. I'm still battling the crud from last week. Do I look better this week? I had like a funky eye happening. Allergies were killing me, man. But I think I look better right now, so we'll see. So here it is from 2 nights ago. PJ Black defeated Alex Coughlin. RH Women of Honor Championship, Kelly Klein defeated Kate Carney to retain. TK O'Ryan and Vinny Marseglia of the Kingdom defeated Carl Fredericks and Clark Connor. Shane Taylor defeated Hikuleo. LIJ of Evil and Sonata defeated Lifeblood, which was I can't remember their names now. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, Haskins and Tracy Williams. Is that right? I never remember Williams' name. Isn't that crazy? Roosh defeated Silas Young. RH World 6-Man Tag Team Championships. Villain Enterprises defeated Yuji Nagata, Satoshi Kojima, and Jeff Cobb to retain. And then the World Tag Team Championship, the Guerrillas of Destiny defeated Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham to retain. The Briscoes came out after that and caused a ruckus. They were like Wu-Tang all up in that place, bringing a ruckus. So those guys have tremendous heat. If you've been watching the Guerrillas of Destiny through this tour and the way they're interacting with RH guys, it's a little scary. I think there's some legit heat there. And if not, they're fooling me because the body language, their facial expressions, everything they're saying and doing really suggests they got a problem being there. They don't have a problem collecting a paycheck, but they got a problem with RH in general. They're wearing the IWGP Tag Team Championship belts, which I'm sure is giving some heat. Although the fans are cheering for them like they're baby faces, which is kind of an odd little thing happening. And especially Tama Tonga's dangling the ROH World Tag Team title between his legs. You can take that for what it's worth and make your own joke there if you want to. It's fine. But so it looks like a tremendous amount of heat at this point. So it's kind of weird. But anyway, it's a good tour. You should check it out. Let's go to last night really, really quick. We'll get back to WWE stuff. Okay, so the Bullet Club kicked off the show. Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Hikuleo defeated Alex Coughlin, Carl Fredericks, and Clark Connor. So they fed the GOD some New Japan dojo guys, which was, I guess, it's New Japan guys, so I guess they didn't have a problem with that, right? I mean, they shouldn't have a problem with anybody. Just get in there and do your job, is what I say. Yuji Nagata won by DQ versus Silas Young. Very entertaining match. If you've not seen that match, do yourself a favor and go check it out. LIJ, Evil and Sonata defeated Vinny Marseglia and TK O'Ryan. Roosh defeated PJ Black. Briscoes defeated Lifeblood's Tracy Williams, yes, and Mark Haskins. RH Women of Our Championship, Kelly Klein issued an open challenge. The Allure came out. Angelina Love answered, but now she will not compete to the company's U.S. return. So we'll see when that happens. Jay Lethal defeated Satoshi Kojima, and again, another fine match. Please go check that out. 4-corner survivor bout for the RH World Television Championship. Shane Taylor won the title and shocked the crowd in Toronto, as it were. It was a good match with Hiroki Goto, Brody King, and defending champion Jeff Cobb. And then the RH World Championship match, Matt Taven in a wild match retained the title against PCO. So there you have it, folks. There is your 2-day rundown so far of War of the Worlds, and we've got another night to go on the 11th. So there you go. Hello, Andrew. Welcome back to the show. So let's see. So there's rumors that Goldberg may not even compete at this Saudi Arabia event. I don't know if that's true or not. If he does, it's only going to be like a 30-second match, which, they never give the guy credit. But to be fair, he is a lot older than he used to be, obviously. And his last tour in WWE completely tore his body to shreds. I mean, he was gassed all the time. He's in great physical shape, great cardio. I'm not disputing that. But his body's, dude, as we get older, stuff doesn't work anymore. I went to pick up my kid from school yesterday, and every time I go to pick him up, he likes to go in the gym and we'll shoot a little basketball before we leave. I tried a 3-pointer, and I'm going to tell you something. At 6'3", at my age, It's not a good idea, and this just goes to show you I don't work out all that much, to be fair. But yeah, I still feel it today, folks. There you go. Hello, Pamela. Welcome to the show. Joe, hello, Joe. What's up? Joe, are we good? All good, Joe? Okay. What are your thoughts on Dark Side of the Ring? I've enjoyed it. I've not seen the Gino Hernandez episode so far. I want to see it. The Von Erich episode is bone-chilling. The way Kevin describes the events that happened to him during the course of his life, his brothers all dying. It's crazy. By the way, you guys know that Ross and Marshall Von Erich have signed with MLW, with Major League Wrestling. So check that out. That's a headline. Those guys are like in their 30s at this point. So you kind of look at that and say maybe the ship has sailed, but there again, PCO is like 50. Who am I to say that, you can't find the fountain of youth and keep it? PCO found it. And he's not going to share it with anybody. It doesn't look like. Thank you, Pamela. So, Joe, yeah, I got two Joes. I got a couple of Joes. Is that a song? Couple of Joes. Thank you, Joe. I respect you saying that. Thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, so we covered AEW. We talked a little bit about World of the Worlds, WWE headlines. Remember, folks, to get out there and tell everybody you know about the show. If all you do is catch me on Fridays, much love, and I greatly appreciate it. If all you do is subscribe and download on iTunes, much love, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for that, your attention. My downloads are up every month, so thank you so much for that. It's kudos to you guys, and thanks to you guys for making that happen. But please, if you have any friends, family that watch wrestling, no matter what kind of wrestling it is, have them check out the show, man. Tell them about the show. Hook them up, as it were, and we'll talk. I get some direct messages on Facebook. Please don't anyone ever take offense if I don't answer right away. I'm online a lot, and sometimes my other half is like, okay, put the phone down. So when that happens, I got to put the phone down. So, a man's got to have a happy home here, folks, if you know what I'm saying. Tina, I need to do something. Because I've plateaued. I lost the 51 pounds. I still feel good. I still am buying smaller clothes, and stuff fits even better than it ever has before in a long time, actually. But I've plateaued. I still want to drop 20 more. That's the goal. Don't know if I'll be able to get it done, but that's what I want to do. So I'm going to have to start working out if that's going to happen. So Pamela says, do you think Bray Wyatt would team up with his brother Bo Dallas? Pamela, you're a top fan, so I might answer your question. I don't. Here's the problem with anything we talk about in WWE, Pamela, to your point. The issue is that Vince is going to do whatever Vince wants to do. And I soapboxed last week, there it is, and told everybody that, Vince is going to do what Vince is going to do. And we all know that. Yes, we are all very well of that at this point in time. If he wants to keep Bo and Bray apart and act like they're not even related, he's going to do that. It doesn't matter. He's going to do it, right? They very rarely ever talk about Blackjack Mulligan. They don't mention the fact that Bray always wore the brace on his hand. And that Bo wears the black glove. Both of those things are in honor of Blackjack Mulligan, their grandfather. They never talk about that. Hardly ever. They hardly ever reference it. That company has so much rich history and past with a lot of those talents, but they don't want to talk about it. They're more, interested in, dumping on the Revival and other guys and making them look silly on TV because that's what they do. And it's, it's a very, it can be a very vengeful and spiteful situation, which is, I think, what we're seeing right now. Has Brock Lesnar re-signed with WWE, Johnny? Has he? Because if he has, I've not read it or heard it anywhere. I know he supposedly... here's the thing, Johnny. I was told that he re-signed last year. He signed a new contract last year. He's already signed. I don't know how long the contract was for, but that supposedly this is his last year. We've heard that before, folks, so I'll take that for what it's worth. But supposedly he's retired from UFC. It's what he's made the comment to Dana White. And I just don't think he got the money that he thought he was going to get from UFC. And that's why he's done. So, by the way, have you guys... Hello, Sandy. What's up? By the way, have you guys checked out TJ Jones? Google TJ Jones. Okay. It's the story of the week, folks. He is going to fight Jake Hager, a.k.a. Jack Swagger, at Bellator 221 on Saturday night. It's something straight out of Saturday Night Live. I can't even put it into words. When I first saw it, I was with everybody else going, what's this guy doing up there? This is ridiculous. Then he started talking. And I'm like, oh, God, I kind of want this guy to win now. He's not going to. Jay's going to, crush him like a grape. But, it's wow. Go listen. Go Google TJ Jones. as soon as you can and look up the press conference from Bellator yesterday, May 9th. You won't regret it. It's quite humorous, okay? Yeah, wow. Yeah, Keith, in the UK, I haven't forgot about you, my man. How you doing? Jeff is going to be out 6 to 9 months. Complete right knee reconstructed. Had a lot of issues, took care of. Supposedly he's good. Surgery went well, and he'll be back. 6 to 9 months is recovery time. And again, as we mentioned, we're all getting older, and Jeff is one of us. Folks, as much as he looks like he's found the fountain of youth and he's immortal and indestructible, he's not. So, he'll be back when he can come back. What's up, Jason? Looks like a horrible company to work for. So, Lance, to your point, I've been told, and I've heard and read many times, especially about the past few months, that working in WWE's front office is not the most fun thing ever. It's not the most fun job you've ever had. And it's like, it's great to put on a resume to say you did it. And I'm sure the payday is really good. But at the end of the day, it's just too much. It's too much mental strain. It's too much, even for the guys that come from a pro wrestling background, which they're not even really hiring them anymore unless they're like formerly their guys and stuff, right? Or guys that they're close to, like Abyss and stuff that they know. But, at the same time, I just don't. Again, it looks good on a resume, but to your point, I don't think it's any bed of roses at all. Sonnet. Hamed Sonnet. Hello, my friend. Why are they bringing the Undertaker to Saudi? He needs to be done. Corey, they're not bringing Undertaker anywhere. Undertaker's bringing himself, Corey. Undertaker wants to be there. If he's there, he wants to be there. They're not going to twist his arm. Undertaker, after how many years in the business? 30 years in the business? Taker's going to do what Taker wants to do. And they're not going to tell him what to do. If he doesn't want to be there, he won't be there. But I imagine the payday, and he's booked, right? I imagine the payday is going to be quite sweet. Now, according to Shawn Michaels at Crown Jewel last year, he didn't have a WrestleMania payday last year. That's what he says. Take that with a grain of salt. I don't know. But yeah, I'm sure Taker won't argue with the payday. Neither will Goldberg. And you know what? You know who else is not going to argue with that? I won't. Got to get your money. I don't disagree or bash any pro wrestler, male or female, big or small, young or old, getting their money. Get your money. Get paid. Okay? I argue with the fact that it's blood money and it's coming from the country of Saudi Arabia. I have a serious problem with that. But you guys know that I aired that last week. Well, they have Matt team up with someone else while Jeff was recovering. He teamed up with Apollo Crews on a house show this past week and was not very well received. But to be fair, they've never done right by Apollo either. He could have been a good star. That sounds silly. He could have been a fairly big star, and they didn't do anything for him. They don't do anything for a lot of guys. Doesn't mean I think they're burying him, okay? It just means that he's not, I think he's capable of so much more than what they're allowing him to do. It's what I feel. Ricardo says, what do you see them doing? Yeah, Paul, but to be honest, listen, every time a guy gets a title, it's give to him. Can we be fair? I mean, he may earn it in a match on TV or whatever, but it was still given to him. I get your point. Yeah, it should be done the right way, yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, come on, man. And there was matches involved. I'm just saying, yeah, they gave it to him, but come on. It's And what I found interesting about that was the huge promo he cut, by the way, which was awesome. And he talked about how the tag team division was a joke because of the New Day. And it was a tag team joke because of the Usos. No one took it seriously. They're going to take it to the main event. They're going to main event the next WrestleMania as a tag team. Yeah, tag teams. Yeah, all right. Tag team wrestling back, Jack, in full effect. Meanwhile, Scott Dawson of the Revival said, good luck, with a laughing face on Twitter. Now, was that done to, I hate Daniel Bryan and I hate that he was given the title? No. It's just that it's his way of saying, we said all this stuff too. Look what happened to us. And I'm going to tell you something. There's some heat there. There's some real heat there. And here's the deal. I don't know that it can get much worse than what happened to them on Monday Night Raw and last week's Monday Night Raw. I don't know that it can get much worse. Besides taking them off TV and cutting their pay or some nonsense. Right? Keeping them off the big shows, I guess. It can get worse, I suppose. But seeing as how it can't, why don't you just go online and plead your case? Why don't you just go on Twitter? Why don't you just cut a Facebook video, both of you, and say, everyone's asking us what the truth is. Here's the truth. We went to Vince like a man, and we said, we're not happy. Is there any way we can talk? We were told no. And next thing we know, not only have we dropped the titles, but we're made to be the laughingstock of the company. And we're going to continue to do our song and dance because we have families to support. But we won't let you guys know what's going on. Every time you see us on TV acting a fool, this is why we're having to do it. Peace out. I mean, I don't know. It's probably not going to happen. But at this point, what do you got to lose? What are they going to do? Fire you? That's what you wanted. They're not going to fire you. Right? I don't know. Just saying. Well, that's true, Nathan. You're right. All right, Joe. See you next week. You gone, man? Oh, man. We're only 30 minutes into the show, dude. That's cool. Have a good one. Daniel says Charlotte is horrible. I don't know. It's your opinion. So, yeah. Biggest news from WWE this week is Alexa Bliss is single. I'm making my... Victor's making his move. Vic, let us know how that works, my friend. And let us know how that works out. Why do you think Vince buries tag teams? Do you think AEW can... He's not burying tag teams. I disagree with that. What he's doing to the Revival is silly and goofy and stupid, but they're not getting buried. Again, my definition of buried maybe not, it won't fit yours. But here's what he's doing. The column is coming out of Wrestling Rumors later today. Please go check it out. I will post it and link it. And hey, look at it and read it. Thank you. What he's doing, if all this is real, and it's not some kind of agreed upon comedy bit backstage where they all said, let's just go out there and have fun and make them think this. All right. Okay? If this is legit and it's a shoot, not a work, then what you're seeing right now is WWE devaluing the Revival to the point of no return. Because Vince knows that even the most casual fan will not forget what they're doing right now to these guys on TV. So next year, if they do leave and they do make the jump to AEW, Ring of Honor, or wherever it is they want to go under a different tag team name, and they will have to, okay? If they do that, then they'll always be remembered for being the joke that WWE created. Now, the talent won't hold it against them. The promotions won't hold it against them, but fans won't forget it. And I think Vince is counting on that. I think Vince is doing this because he gets to say, look what I'm doing. I did this to them because I can. I firmly believe that's why Dusty was putting polka dots back in the day. Because Dusty was the chief booker for the biggest rival Vince McMahon ever had at that point. To that point. And he said, I'm going to put in polka dots because I can. And he's going to do it. And he's going to do it willingly because he will. Because I'm Vince freaking McMahon. That's what I think. And I think he does stuff because it strokes his ego. His tremendous ego that couldn't fit inside of an airport at this point. Just me talking. But Vince just hates tag team wrestling. He sure seems to, Jenna. Do I think the wild card rule is the beginning of the brand split? They love the brand split. I don't know why they don't just pull the plug on it and, I don't know. But they're grasping at straws, folks, to get you to watch. If you're no longer watching Raw and SmackDown, they want you to come back. And ratings were up over last week. They were. Not by a significant number, but they were up. So once they see the ratings up, they're going to say, oh my God, this is brilliant. Let's do some more of it. And they're going to think that that's what's doing it. We don't even know that that's what's doing it, folks. It could just be random coincidence that the numbers were up. I don't know. But, for all those people out there getting upset about, ratings don't matter, Tom, yeah, they do. Evidently they do. If they didn't, why were all those moves made on this past Monday and Tuesday? Because it's fun? No, they were doing it because they care about the ratings. We have finally gotten concrete proof, folks, they do care about the ratings. Daniel, the Iconics says the Iconics need to lose the titles from your lips to God's ears. What do you think's going to happen with Roddy and the Undisputed Era? Gareth, thank you for bringing us some NXT, my friend. So things are not looking good for Roderick Strong and the Undisputed Era, folks. It's looking like a train wreck right now. These guys don't trust each other. They're arguing on TV. They're arguing in the ring, backstage, outside. Adam's saying some naughty words on the last NXT's cursing. Okay. And he's throwing some heat at Roddy. And Roddy's walking away like, I'm done with this. And it does look like they're all going to implode. We knew it was going to happen. A 3-man group's hard to keep together, let alone a 4-man group. We got, that, right? So I still to this day think I don't understand why. I know I don't understand why, but I don't understand why they can't go the route of, look, you have a faction backstage. Instead of imploding like the Shield and all this other stuff, and this guy was tempted by money, and he delivered a chair shot, and they turned on each other, and we hate each other now. Instead of doing that, why can't you occasionally just have the guys look at each other in the ring and say, you know what, we had a good run, but let's end this before we kill each other. They all fist bump and they're done. And you never see them team together again. Or if you do, it's months and months down the road. I would love to see that. Never going to happen. It's WWE. They think they have to do this stuff. Joe says, Big Money Matt coming. Could be. That's the rumor. I'd love to see it. Ask Sandy about a 3-man group, wasted talent. But it's nothing they did wrong for sure. What's with Lacey and Becky? Justin, Lacey's not very good. That's my opinion. I was countered online this week because I had said something about Lacey, and I was countered with she is. Because WWE said something about she's a top caliber performer or something, and I said, is she? And I forget what I said, but I was countered with she is, Tom. I'm like, jeez. How much of a WWE fan do you have to be to buy and sell everything that the company throws at you and to believe every word that they say and to stick up for that company regardless of the situation and to vilify the fans and turn on the audience, to support that company and call the audience idiots and morons and they jump to conclusions and they're dumb, they're stupid, and they're this and they're that, and we're so much smarter than you are, thus us group of select few fans who know what WWE's trying to do and we applaud WWE for it. Golf clap. I got a serious problem with that. Like last week I went off. I don't want to do it again. But here's some highlights. I don't like being vilified because of my opinion. I'm not going to vilify you because of your opinion. I can tell you I think you're wrong. I'm not going to tell you I think you're stupid. I'm not going to tell you that you're off base or that that your opinion sucks. Maybe your opinion makes perfect sense to you, and that's perfectly fine. I will tell you that I disagree, and that's how I roll. I just got a problem with that, dude. I always have. Lots of people joining against Lacey Evans. There you go. Corey says she's hot. That is it. It's funny. New champs for women's division. Again, Aaron, from your lips to God's ears. But I don't know. Things may not be looking good for Sasha. 1 minute she's back, next minute she's not. Next minute she's back, next minute she's not. As of this minute, the latest minute, she's not back. It's not looking good again. I don't know. It's absolutely silly at this point. What's going on? I don't know. It's crazy. Hardcore title. No, James. No hardcore title needed. Not in 2019. Not in that company. Not necessary. You can't have a hardcore title unless you can use a bunch of weapons, and I don't think the company wants to deliver that image all the time, and especially since they will not allow their guys and gals to use blood. There you go. Andy says Lacey may not be great, but if they stick with the only 6 or 7 women that can wrestle, it'd be dull. I'd rather see someone new than Naomi and Natty again. Andy, you know what? Go with God. I'm not going to argue with that. Variety's the spice of life, my friend. And you know what? If that's your opinion, roll with it. I totally see where you're coming from. Yeah, you got to have good and bad. You got to have great worker and some that aren't so good, I guess. But dude, I totally see where you're coming from on that. I can't fault you for that opinion at all. Nathan, what's up? What do you think of Sasha's husband's tweet? I think it made the situation worse, not better, create more questions. I think. All right, Nathan. Let me. So, people talk about vilifying someone. People turned on Sasha when she split and said, it's only a belt. Like I just gave you that little speech about everyone gets given titles. What's it really mean? I also followed that comment up with, what does it mean to the talents involved? It can mean different things really depending on who you are. That's Sasha, dude. It means a lot to her, and it meant a lot to her. And she was deeply offended, I'm supposing, is what I'm hearing, what I'm reading and being told. She was deeply offended by the fact that they just pulled the rug out from underneath her, that they had a plan A, they suddenly switched to a plan B. Here's my problem. You work for Vince McMahon. You have for a long time. You don't know the way Vince McMahon rolls? You don't know the way Vince McMahon... This is how he does business. Changes up and down and back and forth and up and down and back and forth. Folks, I was just listening to Chris Jericho's podcast yesterday, and he was talking about the WCW buyout when WWE bought the company. WWE had huge plans to run Monday Nitro on Monday, taking the place of Raw, and keep SmackDown on Thursday nights at the time. And he was going to compete the two brands against each other, even though he owned both brands. He changed everything at the drop of a hat because he didn't like the match between Booker T and Buff Bagwell. He dropped everything that night and said, well, not going to do that crap. Everything, a year's worth of bookings, venues that had to be changed, entire your travel plans and everything had to be switched up because he changed his mind. That's what he does. What we're being told right now is that he changes TV on a nightly basis, on a weekly basis. During the actual show, he changes his script, changes his mind. Come on. I mean, you can't believe anything the guy says because he's a wrestling promoter, and you should never believe a wrestling promoter. But at the same time, this constant back and forth, is there any reason why WWE is in the situation it's in right now? Where it's impossible to watch. Monday Night Raw was hard to watch, folks. SmackDown wasn't much better. I mean, SmackDown was better than last week, but come on, dude. You know? Crazy. Alan, what's up? Yeah, it is some Saturday to my Vince. Oh my God, for sure. It's his company. Roll with it. Go with God, Vince. Go with God. But when the talent complains that they're unhappy because of stuff like that, you're going to continue to go with God and roll with it? I'm Vince McMahon, by God. Instead of realizing maybe we should look at how we're doing things. They're not going to. Hear the bird outside? I got nature happening. Even the birds agree. See? It's my soundtrack. Andy says Vince is Vince. The guy's a genius. Vince was a genius. I don't know that he's still a genius. I think he's perfectly capable of having those moments. I think he's perfectly capable of changing everything and putting the company back on. I can't say on top. They're already on top, but making it must-see TV again. I'm sure he could. I don't think he cares. I think, you know what I think? I think he thinks he is doing that. Honest to God, I think he thinks he's doing that. And I don't think he sees the problem. That's just me. That's just me talking, man. See, there's such a guilty pleasure of mine. My toddler screams out iconic now. It's totally adorable. Nathan is a huge fan of the Iconics, folks. I'm not even playing about that. Hey, like I said, man, go with God. Everyone's opinion, man. It's cool with me. Time to hand over Shane. Now, here's the funny thing, Mike, about your comment. Supposedly, Shane McMahon doesn't have anything to do with running the company. He's just he's just an on-air talent. Now, I don't know how true that is, but that's what I've been told, is that he's not actually running anything backstage. He's probably in Gorilla. Maybe he's got some headphones on. I don't know. But I don't, as far as having an official job title, I don't. Maybe, but But as far as, Shane, here's what we're going to do. In 5 years, you're getting the company. I don't know. They're against WWE. How do you know? You don't know anything until you see it. Do you know what I mean? Brad brings up, it's supposed to be a 6-woman tag team match. They took Charlotte out of the match along with Bayley. What kind of crap is that? Yeah, for real. But it's WWE, man. They change all the time. Lance says Vince thinks it's 1980. What have they, I'll say, since knocking the Iconics blow, what have they done since holding the belt? Yeah, like I said, I'm just not a fan. What's the deal with Sammy? He's a pest. So the first couple weeks of Sammy's promos were good. They were captivating. They were turning the crowd upside down. They were well thought out, and he's well spoken. By week 4, I'm done. Listen, I can only take so much of being told I'm stupid. I'm ignorant. I'm an idiot. I know it's a work. I get it. But if you don't believe in your heart of hearts that some of Sammy's comments are coming from his heart and from Vince McMahon's heart, from creative who are sick of reading online criticism, who are sick of people like us getting upset at the product, getting upset at the program, if you believe that some of that's not coming out in these promos, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. I'm at a loss for words. I think it's fully becoming an issue in the promos, and I think they're sticking that in wherever they can stick it in. Montrese is back. Nothing else about Leo, Michael. The Leo Rush story, has calmed down. I told you I'm still dealing with the crud, right? The Leo Rush story has calmed down in the course of the past 7 days. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't wish any ill will upon the guy. If he wants to come back and they can use him back and everything's kosher and copacetic, bring him back, whatever. You know what I mean? I told you folks before, I don't make this stuff personal. I don't have an axe to grind. I don't have an agenda. I'm not trying to get a job with a certain company. I'm just giving you my take, man. If I tell you I think someone doesn't have it, that's my opinion. Maybe they do, and they'll prove me wrong. And maybe everyone's against me. But I know how I see it. I know what I see. That's just my take. So, Montrese asking, we just talked a lot about Sasha Montrese, nothing yet. The latest I've been told is that it's not looking good, but I don't know if that's true or not. Raw has been a talk show for a long time, David. The first segment of Monday Night Raw took 20-some minutes. 22, 23, 24 minutes. Insane. Can I tell you what I was doing during Raw and SmackDown? Don't tell anybody. All 65 of you. Ready? I had New Japan on the iPad on Monday night. On Tuesday night, I was catching up on MLW. I was watching the Walter versus Jordan Devlin match from OTT from September of last year. That's kind of what I was doing. And I watched a little bit of CMLL as well. That's how I spent. And then I've been watching Ring of Honor the past 2 nights. You got to keep your brain healthy, folks. Because if all you watch is WWE, and listen, I got a comment. For anyone out there watching the show or listening to the podcast right now, if all you watch is WWE, and that's it, please, for heaven's sake, if you are a pro wrestling fan in the slightest, and you must be, you're watching WWE, right? Do yourself a favor, for goodness sake, and check out some other companies. Even if all you do is go to YouTube and watch as many clips as you can, if you can't afford a streaming service, if everyone's got YouTube, right? If you can't afford a streaming service, if you're strapped and can't afford Ring of Honor, New Japan, or whatever, can't afford the pay-per-views, can't afford Fight TV. Fight TV's got a lot of free content, by the way, free weekly shows. Dude, get out of your wheelhouse. And here's why I tell you that. I actually got sucked into WWE's wheelhouse for a long time there. And you're looking at the guy, talking to the guy, listening to the guy that grew up a fan of the territories and couldn't stand WWE. But when WWE became the only game in town, I knew of Ring of Honor and I watched a little bit. And I knew of TNA and I watched a little bit. But now I watch more programming than I ever have apart from WWE since I was a kid. And of course, that's thanks to the streaming services. That's thanks to technology. Technology is a great thing, folks. It's not always of the devil, okay? So, I encourage you folks, get out there and watch some more stuff, please. Lance says NJPW owns everyone. It's a valid point. I mean, they're getting it done. Tessa versus Gail. Sal, I've not watched the match yet. I got to go catch up on it. I've not seen that yet. I will go watch it. I keep forgetting. Thank you for reminding me. Wish our RH was 2 hours. Yes, Chris, I get it. But at the same time, if you can run a tight 1 hour format and give the fans some quality matches, why don't you just do that instead of going 2 hours? There's probably more money in it for them, but their production costs also go up for 2 hours of TV, right? So, but Sinclair just bought some additional networks and channels, I believe. They're getting larger. So there's even more of an opportunity for Ring of Honor and the New Japan product by proxy to be seen in even more homes in this country, which is a very good thing for both companies. Can we be fair? So Mike says WWE trying to get Jay Lethal. I've not heard that, Mike, but I will say this. If I'm Jay, I go. And here's why. You're Jay, you go, you sign up, say he signs a 2-year deal. Okay? And he's maybe the best payday of his life. I don't know. Go, make the best of it, ride out the 2 years, don't re-sign. If you're not happy, come back. And he could go anywhere in the world, like he's been doing. But if he wants to end his contract and wants to end his career in WWE at some point, I would say go. Now, listen, we just talked about what a train wreck WWE is on TV. But imagine the matches you could get if Jay Lethal goes to the company. Would they do right by him? Would they put a title on him? Tag team title. They would put the WWE title on him. Excuse me. I think that Vince would look at him as still being too small. I think he'd probably spend a year in NXT, which he doesn't need to do at all. A lot of them didn't need to. Yeah. But I don't know, man. Yes, the Von Erichs are coming, Jim. Ross and Marshall both have signed with MLW. Yes, they're going to be there. The first show's in, is it May or June? I can't remember. Yes, they are awesome to watch, Jeff. It's a good product, for sure. Do I think... I think if the money's right, the terms are right, and if the time is right, yeah. His world title run just ended. And, I remember back in the day, Taz giving the interview with ECW, or with WWE, and he was talking about ECW. He was talking about his time was there, and he's like, he'd won the world title again or whatever, and he's like, at the end of the day, it was like, so what? What do I do now? Do I go back and do the same thing, or do I do something different? So maybe that's Jay right now. Maybe it's Jay saying, I've already done this. Let me try something different, Brad says Charlotte versus Tessa. Oh, it's coming. Tessa's going to go to WWE at some point. There's no way around it, folks. She will. Just if for no other reason, so the commentators can call the match, Flair with a whip on Blanchard, or Flair and Blanchard team up against, but in WWE she'd just be Tessa, or Tess, or T, or Just the T, letter T. Or a silent vowel. Or a motion, a gesture with their hand. Because that's WWE, man. They're so freaking wacky in that company. They're just... Oh, it just makes me want to bash my head into a wall, right? Hoy vey. June 1st, thank you, Alma. See, Phil RH needs to focus on Roosh, Cobb, Flip, not Silas, Shane. But at the same time, man, Silas is solid in the ring, man. Shane is up and coming. Bully's a veteran. There's different people had different thoughts on that, but I think you need to have a mix. As someone said earlier, you got to have a mix of different kinds of talents and stuff. And I see your point, but I think they are focusing where they can on Flip and Bandito, and Lifeblood's getting some nice spotlight right now, to be honest. And Ring of Honor is going to make the progress where they can. I think they're in a great situation right now. At the end of the day, folks, hear me when I say this to you. If you are a profitable pro wrestling company, if you put more money in the bank last year than you spent, then you are in good shape. Believe that, okay? I'm serious. If you are a profitable pro wrestling company in 2019, roll with it. And some companies are. Probably a lot of them are, folks. But spend wisely. I just listened to an interview with Billy Corgan from NWA. NWA owner, of course. NWA doing a bang-up job right now. I told you folks I was at the Crockett Cup. They did a fantastic job. It's a great show. Please go watch it. I've watched it like 6 times now or better. Billy Corgan's loaded, but he's not spent all that money, and he's done it by design. Because instead of throwing all the money in the world at it like Tony Khan's doing, all much respect to Tony Khan, money bags in AEW, baby. You can't fault him for that at all. Go with God on that. If it works, it works. But, Corgan, to his credit, is not convinced it's going to work. He doesn't know that that's the answer. He's not convinced that it's the answer at this point, folks. So his thing is, let's do what we can do and be smart with the money. And that's what they're doing. If you're turning a profit in 2019, you're a pro wrestling company, go with God. And improve where you can. But be happy with that and then build upon it. Don't go signing every big name that comes out of WWE, folks, because you might end up not getting money back on your investment. Let's see. Brock Lesnar's facing Seth Rollins at Saudi Arabia. Then Brock Lesnar going to SmackDown when we go to the Fox station. Mark, you might be right. You might be right, man, for sure. Goldberg's next. They feed him to Reigns of Saudi Arabia. Sal, you might be right on that as well. Listen, at this point, you could sit here and tell me the Undertaker's going to wrestle the Archangel Gabriel or Michael. Who's the Archangel? Michael? Yes. Do you know your Bible? All right. Good on you. So you could tell me all kinds of that stuff. And you know what? I wouldn't go, you're crazy. This is stupid. I would totally buy it. Alan, AEW from all reports is heading to TNT. Oi. There you go. Lip service for the metal fans out there. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Hey, Tina, thanks for hanging out. Keep up the good work on your end too, as well. I've been watching your posts, seeing your posts and stuff. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you, Lance, for throwing us a New Japan question. Will Ishii ever get the IC or IWGP title? He's had something. Hasn't Ishii been IWGP champion? Am I crazy? Lance, tell me if I'm wrong. I thought he had been it. I thought he had been there. Raymond, I don't know if you can get TNT in the UK. That's a great question. I'll tell you that AEW is partnering with ITV for Double or Nothing. I wouldn't be surprised if they would be on ITV when they go live this fall on TNT. Don't quote me on that, but I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see. I think AEW is trying to sign everyone from WWE. Jenna, not necessarily. No, not necessarily at all. They sign more independent. Listen, AEW has signed more independent pro wrestlers than they have WWE talents. It's the truth. And it's smart. You know what I mean? It really is smart. Because I don't think you want to fill your locker room up with WWE in 2019. I think that's been tried and it failed. And I think if you want to make a name for yourself, listen, if AEW can make a splash, and not just make a splash the first week on TV, but maintain it. I'm talking about this time next year, we're talking about AEW is doing well. Listen, remember where you are today, and let's come back a year from now and talk about this. Don't forget this show. Remember that, okay? If we're talking about this 12 months from now, okay, then we're gonna be able to say it's a success. You know what I mean? And if they do all that with a handful of WWE names, think about what that means for the pro wrestling business. Because that means they are creating stars along the way. They're taking a guy that's popular and got some good light on him, and they're creating an even bigger star thanks to his exposure on AEW programming. That's something. That's big, folks. That's important. Sandy says, next Friday, I find my WWE live event in Germany with my CM Punk tee. Sandy, go! Just go, man. Do this. Because you know what? Good on you. And if they make you try to take it off, you know what you do? You throw the X up there. Huh? Yeah. Drop a pipe bomb on them, Jack. That's what I say. So I got text messages happening right now. I've actually considered taking text messages during the show. But then I got to worry about giving my number out to people. It's kind of weird. What do you guys think about that? We're not Facebook Live, man. It's all good. Sal says, 40 years of watching wrestling. You are so right. It was so great when the heel from another territory came in to challenge the champ. Absolutely agree with that. Totally. Ibushi versus Okada coming soon. Yeah, I think it would need to. They've worked each other and it ended in a handshake. It was a hard-fought match, too. I'm thinking Ishii. Ibushi versus Okada. Yeah, I would think so, yeah. No doubt. If proven riders wrestlers scout for AEW, they should succeed. I'll agree with that, Danny, for sure. I'm starting to think John Moxley is going to have actually come out to WWE. Not a good idea. No, listen, Jim. I know where you're getting that from. To be honest, I know where you're getting that from, but I just don't think it's happening. I think that John. I'm calling him John now, folks. You get happy? I think Mox. That worked for you? I think Mox has paid for this stuff with his own money. And if he didn't, AEW paid for it. You know, the promo, the thing on Twitter, the video. Either way, I don't see WWE being a player at this point with him, the wrestler formerly known as Dean Ambrose. That's just me. So, you don't want to fill the roster with WWE rejects. Unknown fresh talent need a shot at building a name that AEW is going to doing right. Yes, absolutely. Jason says, did you hear about Baron Corbin as Universal Champion? Yes, Jason, I'm glad you brought that up. No one left the show yet, did they? So Baron Corbin's going to become Universal Champion, WWE Champion, Grand Slam Champion, Tag Team Champion, Women's Champion, 205 Live Cruiserweight Champion, NXT UK Champion, NXT Champion, North American Champion, basically all the titles. He's going to have a great big travel wagon that he pulls behind him down the ramp. Maxed out, sick. Maxed out to the gills with championship gold. He's going to have so much gold, people's going to be able to invest in him, like the stock market. It's the truth. Because Corbin's their guy. All this is said with tongue firmly implanted in cheek. That's the truth. Yeah, I don't know what to say about Corbin. He's what they want. He's not my cup of tea. I don't care for him. I don't know what all the fuss is about from their end. They think he's awesome. I'm not on board. I don't see it, folks. And this has gone far beyond. He's a heel, Tom. You're not supposed to like him. There's been plenty of heels that I was supposed to hate that I could point to and say, that dude's good. He's going to be something. I don't see that with Corbin. It's not about hating him. I don't hate anybody right now. I hate some people, but I don't hate Baron Corbin. Okay? But it's a matter of I don't see what they see in him. I don't get it, folks. Nathan, you're right, and he'll win. If Vince can rig the election, he'll win. Look at the monkey that got voted in already. So, if people can vote that idiot in, anybody can win. I think I still have a shot. I'm going to take this beard straight to Washington. I'm going to get some stuff done with my headphones and my WWE t-shirts and my Black Panther coffee mug. We're going to change the world, baby. I don't care what you think. I'll get political if I want to. It's perfect timing because now the hour's up and I got stuff to do. So there you go. Was that fun or what? So last time around, folks, prowrestling.com, wrestlingrumors.net, thechairshot.com, and thefloorseat.com. That's where you can find yours truly. That's where I am all the time, 8 days a week. Go check me out. Follow me on Twitter at Tom Clark Writes, WRITES. If we are not friends on the Facebook, what's wrong with you? The cool kids hang out with Tom. All right? That's what you got to do is be a cool kid, man. So send me a friend request. And if you can't find me, send me a message on Wrestling Rumors Instant Messenger saying, Tom, send me a request, bro. I'll send you one and we'll be tight. Thank you, Andy. Does anyone else have anything before we go? Because we're getting ready to take this baby home. We're going one more serious thing or not so serious thing. Who gets the last shout this week? Maybe that'll become a segment. Who gets the last shout this week? Are you ready? Hey, Danny, what's up? Thank you for watching, man. I love that. Hey, Danny, that's awesome. Like your radio. Hey, this is Tom. First time, long time. It's great. Thank you, Brenda. Christopher, we're going to leave it with you. Why did Emma get put through a table? I don't know that Emma is injured again. Maybe she is. That would explain the injury. I don't see the point of men assaulting women in a pro wrestling ring today. I know I'm ending on a big touchy subject for a lot of fans. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I don't want my kid watching it. I don't want him seeing it. I'll let my kid watch wrestling. He'll watch women's matches. He'll watch men's matches. He's not going to watch intergender wrestling. I don't agree with it. That's my own personal taste, folks. I'm not suggesting they can't do it. I'm not trying to be not a bigot. What's the word? Help me out here. I'm not trying to be all like that. Okay. Chauvinistic, right? I'm not trying to be like that. I'm just saying it's not for me. It's not for me at all. Jenna says, I am a tonic. What's a tonic mean? Jenna, is that British? You are a tonic. That's not a bad thing, is it? Laura, Jenna, you are a big fan. Top fan. What do I think of Ryder and Hawkins? I think they're two right guys in the wrong company at the wrong time. That's what I think. I think in any other situation, any other company, they'd be probably the best tag team there, if not one of the best tag teams there. It's me talking. Sandy, thanks for hanging. Oh, Jenna, thank you. Awesome. All right, folks, that's all I got for you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Remember to come back next Friday. I got an announcement to make, folks. I am taking vacation the week of May 24th. So starting May 24th, that Friday and the following Friday, Tom Clark's main event will not be here. Sorry. I'm going out of the country on vacation. I'm just giving you fair warning. I'll tell you closer as the event gets here. But for those 2 Fridays in a row, you're going to be without yours truly. Do all you can to survive, folks. Hang in there. Stick together. Hold hands. Sing Kumbaya and pray. Pray all the time that the man with the beard comes back around. I don't know where I'm going with that. That's all I got, man. I'm getting out of here. Thanks, folks, for watching. Remember, send me a friend request when you can. Read my stuff online. Hang out. Let's hang out again next Friday. I'll be here. You'll be here. It'll be fun. Let's all rock. Let's do this. We'll see you next time on Tom Clark's Main Event.